Hey y'all, it's your girl Mirabel, and in this video I'm going to show you how and why I went bald. Enjoy. Lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Yeah, we'll be counting stars. I see this life like a swinging vine, swing my heart across the line, and my face is flashing signs. Seek it out and ye shall find. Old, but I'm not that old. Young, but I'm not that bold. I don't think the world is sold, I'm just doing what we're told. I feel something so right, doing the wrong thing. I feel something so wrong, doing the right thing. I couldn't lie. Everything that kills me makes me feel alive. Lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Yeah. I feel your love, and I feel it burn down this river. Every turn, hope is a four-letter word. Make that money, watch it burn. Old, but I'm not that old. Young, but I'm not that bold. I don't think the world is sold, just doing what we're told. I feel something so wrong, doing the right thing. I couldn't lie. Everything that drowns me makes me wanna fly. Lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. But baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Lately I've been losing sleep, dreaming about the things that we could be. Baby, I've been praying hard. Said no more counting dollars, we'll be counting stars. Oh, take that money, watch it burn. Sink in the river, the lessons I learned. Take that money, watch it burn. The reason why the videos had to stop there is because terrible angle and I'm using a webcam on a laptop. I used dull barber scissors. I got my hair to the shortest possible length and it was ugly. I covered my entire head, this area of my head, with shaving cream. And then I slowly used that razor to my head. I applied such a thick layer of deodorant on my head. It was cold. I wish I had a dog razor. One of those razors that you could just go zzz. It's like a comb and it shaves. I don't have a razor comb. So as I film this, it's been almost exactly 4 months since I shaved my head. I shaved off the hair on my head for multifarious reasons. I had an overall rationale to spread awareness and to get others to talk about BFRBs, to disprove misconceptions correlating to self-harm. BFRB stands for Body Focused Repetitive Behavior, also referred to as BFRD, Body Focused Repetitive Disorder. Here's a trigger warning for everyone with BFRBs. If you got a spinner ring, hopefully you're wearing one. If you have gloves, hopefully you're wearing them. If you like the rubber band method, which I personally discourage, but it works for you, hopefully you're wearing a rubber band right now. And if you don't have a BFRB and you have no idea what I just said, you're privileged. So trichotillomania is the only BFRB I've ever had. I mean, in 2015, I was at risk of developing trichotillomania and dermatophagia. I will create a video on just BFRB vocabulary. Trichotillomania is the hair cutting and hair shaving disorder. Dermatophagia is skin biting / eating disorder. Trichotillomania is the hair pulling / picking disorder. As you guys could see from the sped up video, I put my hair in a bag. It's still in the same place that I put it 4 months ago. I never touched it. I still don't know what charity I'm gonna donate to. I have been told to donate to Locks of Love, but as a disability awareness advocate, I want to donate my hair to a charity that not only provides wigs to people undergoing chemotherapy, but to those with alopecia, dermodex folliculorum, to people with seborrheic dermatitis, to superciliary metallosis with hypothyroidism, trichotillomania, trichotillomania, trichotophagia, piedra, folliculitis. Trans women, they want wigs as well. It's not just cancer people who need wigs. Now that I bring it up, perhaps I should start my own charity where people can donate their hair. I want people, even with unnatural hair color, to be able to donate their hair. I know everyone watching this has heard me say at least 3 disorders that they've never heard of. My goal is, as a disability awareness advocate, is to educate people. If you're gonna take away only 2 things, please remember that it doesn't matter how common or uncommon a disability, genetic mutation, disorder, whatever is, each and every single one of them is significant. So every neuroatypical and every person who has a BFRB developed whatever disorder they have for reasons. Sometimes the affected person may not know what any of the reasons are. Here's another really important thing to take away from this video. Never assume you know someone's entire life story. Don't make assumptions about people. Well, if it's hard for you, practice. I can assure you, you will get better. Sometimes what you need is not easy. What you need is possible. A lot of affected people, when I say affected, I mean BFRB affected, they don't realize that they have a disorder. That's really sad. I mean, I'm a disabled neurodivergent neuroatypical. Honey, I understand ableism. I understand what it's like to have rare disorders and rare disabilities. Everything I have, except for anxiety and depression, is rare. And even my triggers for anxiety and depression are not typical. My parents hella trigger my depression. Yeah, that's common. I'll get more in depth in a different video on my disability, but this video is going to be mainly about my BFRB. I began pulling at the age of 7 because I started to grow sideburns and leg hair. Please don't assume that just because someone has thin hair or if they're bald or whatever, that they're incapable of having trichotillomania or any other hair disorder. Well, approximately 1.5 weeks ago, I met with my current therapist for the first time ever. She specializes in psychology. When I told her that I mainly pick at my face, she leaned in really close and she stared at me. Now, it doesn't matter if you're staring at my face or my arm or whatever. I despise when people stare at me. I don't think there are that many BFRB advocates out there in the world. I'm glad I'm a BFRB ambassador. Putting this video onto YouTube, that's making a change. Even if this video only gets 500 views, that's still a lot of people. The first person I ever told about my hair pulling was my little sister, who was in kindergarten at the time. Of course, I didn't know what self-harm was, that self-harm is bad, because many believe that if a child is exposed to any form of suffering before they reach adulthood, they'll never have their childhood innocence back. So my little sister tells her teacher the next day, and the next night my sister told me that her teacher responded with, "That's disgusting." If mental health and BFRBs were a part of health curricula worldwide, instances like mine would be a lot more uncommon. I could blather about why it's wrong to call people disgusting, but in a nutshell, it's fundamentally demoralizing. It shows that despite you not understanding the victim's point of view, you're going to continue to babble as if you know the victim's situation better than the victim. So I felt insecure about my hair at age 7, before I was even a decade old. I couldn't even make it to double digits before I started caring about how I look. Girls, we really do care at a more extreme, a much higher caliber about our physical appearance than boys. Guys, they, for the most part, they look at a mirror and they think, oh damn, I'm hot as fuck. Whereas girls, we belittle ourselves. I really hope that this video does not make me come off as a person who thinks that males never go through problems. and that I am a cis female because I'm not. So my insecurity about my hair made me pull out my hair. Indirectly being insulted by a teacher made me pick and pull my hair more, which led to more self-consciousness. It's a paradox. Everyone who self-harms, anyone who's ever had an eating disorder, if you're watching this and you've had similar experiences, or if you unfortunately go through that now, you understand where I'm coming from. 2nd and 3rd grade was the expansion of my Trich. 4th, 5th, and 6th grade were the worst years of Trich in my entire life so far, because I relapsed at least 5 hours every day. My best year of recovery was 2015. Recovery is a choice, and it's not a choice that you choose once. It's something you have to choose every single day. And it's not an easy choice to make. It's the right choice. Like I said earlier, the right things don't always come easy. You just have to endure, but in the end, it's worthwhile. In August of 2015, I only relapsed 5 times. My record for going without relapses is 2 weeks. I'm proud of myself. And in 2015, I went 2 weeks without relapsing twice. I could have broken my record if I tried harder. I was so close to beating my record. I'm gonna adjust my seating position. The stage in which I'd pick the worst was probably 90% of my integumentary system. I currently relapse on only 2 to 3% of myself. Hair still grows back fast for me. So even though I don't pick and pull evenly throughout my body, I'm still picking hella often. Surprisingly, I've barely been triggered by the hair upon my head. I'll acknowledge it's a privilege. A lot of people are embarrassed by their BFRB, but at least I had really healthy and shiny hair. It wasn't often that someone would look at me and be like, oh, that girl's got Trich. Whereas with other people, yeah, you can tell. Times when I relapse are usually when I'm all by myself. I avoid picking in front of other people. And I think it's good that I'm ambiverted. I can function pretty well when there are other people around. I apologize if the sunlight is distracting. I want you, my audience, to remember that spreading awareness about BFRBs is pivotal, and supporting those with BFRBs is the bottom line. Social media is one of the best ways you can pass on information because everything is instantaneous. Hashtag TTM, BFRB awareness, BFRD awareness, they're all good places to start. TTM, BFRB awareness, BFRD awareness are good places to start. Rebecca Brown, she was previously known as Becky Zero. She is the most popular YouTuber who struggles with Trich. Her videos are amazing. I highly recommend them. Especially if you're struggling with Trich as well. Several television specials and documentaries on Trich have featured her. Males, unfortunately, are extremely underrepresented in the BFRB community. I recently discovered that Christian Cancelon, a Filipino-Canadian gamer and vlogger, has come forth about his Trich recently. Every year, there's an official BFRB Awareness Week, and in 2015, it was in October from the 1st day to the 7th day. There are a ton of bloggers on Tumblr with BFRBs. Some of them run strictly BFRB blogs, others like myself will occasionally reblog BFRB content. And there are plenty of bloggers on Tumblr who have BFRBs, but they just keep that secret. I loathe CBSN, which is an acronym for Canadian BFRB Support Network, because it spreads so many lies and misconceptions about BFRBs. And I swear, for every cause/movement, at least one company or charity that's completely misrepresented animal rights activism. There's PETA with cancer research, there's Susan G. Komen, autism awareness, there's Autism Speaks. There's so many problematic charities. That's why I highly recommend people to support small town charities. You know, those national charities, they spend a lot of money on advertising, largely run philanthropic efforts. They have a bigger likelihood of being problematic. Anywho's, Canadian BFRB teaches that BFRBs aren't self-harm. One of the biggest messages I wanted to spread when I went bald was that self-harm is not equivalent to self-mutilation. Self-harm is maiming oneself. Self-harm can be physical and mental. It may require hospitalization and it may not. It may be deliberate and it may not. It may be daily and it may not. It may involve bleeding, and it may not. Canadian BFRB defines self-harm as the intent of the behavior is not to harm oneself, but rather to fix, correct or otherwise make better aspect of physical appearance. For example, get rid of a blemish or hair that doesn't seem to belong. BFRBs are also a coping mechanism for overwhelming emotions. But once again, the intent is to not cause damage. When it comes to BFRBs, the physical damage done is just a byproduct of the behavior. Oh my gosh, CBSN! CBSN is the biggest reason why. Over last summer, I began this huge project for a video on body positivity. The reason why I never posted it is because my computer broke down. So I'm gonna have to start from scratch all over again. But that still won't stop me from burning CBSN harder than Elizabeth Schuyler when she burnt her husband's letters written to her after Alexander Hamilton cheated on her with Maria Reynolds. Please get that Hamilton reference. Oh, if you, my viewers, don't know already, this means hashtag. On my old laptop, I typed up exorbitantly long paragraphs on just explaining why human bodies aren't inherently flawed and why societal standards are unrealistic. In synopsis, stray hairs, freckles, wrinkles, cellulite, stretch marks, etc. They're all biology. Our bodies are supposed to have those features that society wants us to look disdainfully upon. They are not flaws. The only flaw is unachievable beauty standards. You're not ugly. It's society that's ugly. If you're an ugly person, then your personality is ugly, not the way your body is wired, even if you're registered as a disabled person, or neurodivergent, or neuroatypical. If you're one of the three, or all of the three that I just listed, happiness is possible. The amount of privileges you have do not limit your amount of happiness. I'm not saying that happiness is an unlimited source. I get that no one can feel happy all the time. If you're like me, it is possible to not be depressed. 'Cause I'm a survivor, I'm not gonna give up, I ain't gonna stop, I'm gonna work harder, I'm gonna make it, I'm a survivor, keep on surviving. Last but not least, every self-harmer is different, and relapse has a different meaning for everyone. Some self-harmers truly do want to inflict suffering upon themselves. People with eating disorders, they believe their body deserves it, even though their body does not truly deserve it. I'm not going to say that my struggle is harder than other people's struggles, but I was talking to my therapist, and she was like, well, what are you usually doing, and what are your emotions usually when you relapse? And I'm like, I have no idea, because I do it subconsciously. But I am finding out more about myself, thanks to that advice that my current therapist told me. It's not that I like agitating my follicles and straining my hands. It's extremely hard to break a daily habit that has lasted over a decade. I am 17 as I film this. June 24th as I film this. My birthday is in the second to last day of the year, December 29th. I don't have many memories from before I developed trichotillomania. So a decade of my life is more than 50% of my entire life. CBSN can go float themselves for shoving entire communities of people into boxes and throwing them under the bus. Please get that, the 100 reference, despite how trashy that show is now. Dude, that show may be pro-bisexuality, but it is anti-lesbian. I'm glad it features so many beautiful people of color of all races and combinations, but people of color are caricatured, and the show promotes the white savior trope. I'm not going to continue. But again, denying BFRBs of being self-harmers undermines the calamity that people with BFRBs face with themselves, their disorders, and others. It's extraneous enough to have trichotillomania, to live in a world that only mentions Trich, the most common BFRB, once every 4 years. It's not accurately explainable using just words from the English language. This video is going to be my part 1. My part 2 video is going to be strictly statistics and facts, but just a little heads up. There's at least 280 million people in the world with trichotillomania. That's just trichotillomania. There's so many other BFRBs out there. I will put a link to my extensive BFRB video right here. Just click on the box. If you want to shave your head, just do it. Ignore and take a shit on whatever gender roles say about hair appearance. The first thing my little sister said to me upon seeing me bald after I told her my reasons was, if you want to go bald, be bald. You don't need a storyline or a reason other than the fact that it looks cool. I love you, Victoria. Yeah, same thing applies to body modifications. If you want to be bald. If you just want to make a big move and get a dramatic haircut, like a side cut or an undercut, whatever, just do it. It's your body. You do whatever the hell you want with it, as long as you're not inflicting damage. That's pretty much it. It's your body. So simple. It's your body. Stay safe, guys. And I'll put my social media links down below if you want to connect to me personally. You can even start the conversation with something that's not related to BFRBs. How you can contact me is in this description box below. I love y'all. My throat is hurting from talking for 53 minutes and 17 seconds. My face probably has metamorphosized more times than one person can humanly count throughout this entire video. But thanks for watching. Bye.